Have you ever wondered why some people seem to start new projects or hobbies so easily, while others struggle to take the first step? It's an intriguing question, isn't it? Welcome to our exploration of beginnings, of first steps, of the exhilarating leap into the unknown. See, the beginning of any journey, whether it's learning a new skill, starting a new job, or embarking on a creative project, is often the most challenging part. But don't let that intimidate you. It's also the stage that holds the most promise, the most excitement, the most potential. It's the part where you're allowed to dream big, to envision the finish line, to imagine all the twists and turns that lie ahead. Yes, the first steps are often the hardest, but they're also the most rewarding. And the good news? There are ways to make them easier, to make them count. Stay tuned to discover the 10 ways to get started at anything you do. The first way to get started at anything you do is simply to start. It sounds obvious, doesn't it? But taking that initial step is often the most daunting part of any journey. It's stepping into the unknown, venturing out of your comfort zone. But remember, it's also the most liberating. Perfectionism, the desire to do everything flawlessly, can often hold us back, chaining us to our fears and insecurities. But here's the thing. Perfection is not the goal when you're starting something new. It's about progress, not perfection. The first step might not be perfect, it might be shaky, you might stumble, but that's okay. It's not about how perfect your first step is. It's about having the courage to take it. So, take that first step, embrace the unknown, accept that it won't be perfect, and then keep going. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The second way to get started is by clarifying your vision. Have you ever noticed how much easier it is to reach a destination when you have a map? The same principle applies to your goals. Your vision is your map. It is the big picture of what you want to achieve and why it's important to you. Imagine your vision as a lighthouse, illuminating the path on a dark night. It helps you navigate through the rough waters and keeps you on course. The clearer the vision, the more accurate your journey will be. A well-defined vision also acts as a motivator. It gives you a reason to leap out of bed in the morning, eager to take on the world. It fuels your passion and keeps you going, even when the going gets tough. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but knowing where you're stepping towards makes all the difference. A clear vision will not only guide you, but it will also motivate you to take action. The third way to get started is to set SMART goals. Now you may ask, what exactly are SMART goals? Well, SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break it down. Specific means your goal is clear and detailed, not vague. Measurable signifies that you have a way to track your progress. Achievable means your goal is realistic and within your reach. Relevant ensures that your goal aligns with your broader life plan. And time-bound means you've set a deadline to keep you motivated and focused. So, for example, instead of saying, I want to write a book, a SMART goal would be, I will write one chapter of my novel each week for the next 4 months. This goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Remember, setting SMART goals will give you a roadmap to follow. They are your guideposts on the journey to getting started. The fourth way to get started is to find your why. Now this might sound like a riddle, but it's really quite straightforward. You see, every endeavor, every goal, every dream has a reason behind it. And that reason, that why, is the fuel that keeps your engine running, even when the road gets tough. Imagine wanting to run a marathon. The physical training is demanding, the early mornings are brutal, and the sacrifices are many. But if your why is strong enough, say, to prove to yourself that you can do it, or to raise money for a cause close to your heart, then those challenges become bearable. They become part of the journey, not obstacles in your path. So take a moment and ask yourself, why do I want to do this? What's driving me? And be honest, because when you know your why, you'll find your how. The fifth way to get started is to build a support network. When embarking on any new journey, having a group of individuals who rally behind you can be a game changer. It's like having your own personal cheerleading squad, offering words of encouragement when the going gets tough and celebrating your victories alongside you. Your support network could include friends, family, mentors, or even online communities of like-minded individuals. They provide emotional support, share wisdom and insights, and may even offer practical help. You see, the road to success is often paved with challenges, But with a solid support network, these challenges become less daunting. So start nurturing those relationships. Reach out to those who inspire you, who believe in you, and who can offer constructive criticism when needed. Surround yourself with positivity and watch as it propels you forward on your journey. Remember, you don't have to do this alone. The sixth way to get started is to break it down. Now, what does this mean? Well, it's quite simple. Often we find ourselves facing tasks or goals that seem gargantuan, almost insurmountable, and that's where the problem lies, in the perceived enormity of our goal. But here's the secret, folks. Every task, no matter how large, can be broken down into smaller, more manageable parts. Think of it as a jigsaw puzzle. Trying to complete it all at once would be overwhelming, right? But if you were to sort the pieces by color, edge, and pattern, and then start putting them together bit by bit, the task becomes much less daunting. The same principle applies when you're starting out on any journey. Break down your goals, your tasks, into smaller, manageable parts. Tackle them one by one, and before you know it, you'll have achieved what you set out to do. Remember, every big task is just a series of small tasks. The seventh way to get started is to overcome fear. Fear, my friends, is a tricky beast. It lurks in the shadows of our minds, whispering tales of failure and embarrassment, trying to dissuade us from venturing into the unknown. It's a roadblock, a barrier between us and our goals. But here's the thing, fear is not the end-all be-all. It's a feeling, a reaction to perceived danger, and more often than not, it's not even real. So how do we overcome it? By facing it head-on. By understanding that failure is not a permanent state, but a stepping stone towards success. By realizing that the fear of making a mistake is far more limiting than making the mistake itself. And by remembering that every great achiever, every successful person, has faced and overcome their fears. So, the next time fear whispers in your ear, remember to tell it, you're not real. You're just false evidence appearing real. The eighth way to get started is to celebrate small wins. It's easy to overlook the tiny victories when our eyes are set on the big prize. But it's the small wins, those little moments of progress that keep us going. They're like breadcrumbs on the path to success, reminding us that we're moving in the right direction. Celebrating these moments doesn't mean throwing a party every time you accomplish something minor. It could be as simple as acknowledging your progress, giving yourself a pat on the back, or taking a moment to smile at your achievement. These acts of recognition can do wonders for your motivation. They're like fuel for the journey ahead. Small wins build momentum, and momentum is a powerful force. It propels you forward, encouraging you to take the next step, and the next, and the one after that. Each small victory brings you closer to your goal, inch by inch, step by step. Remember, every win, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. The ninth way to get started is to stay consistent. Now let's delve into the heart of the matter. Imagine consistency as the hidden engine driving your journey towards your goals. It's the steady rhythm that keeps you moving forward, day in and day out. Consistency isn't about grand gestures or epic feats. It's about the small, seemingly insignificant actions you repeat over time. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about sticking to your plan, even when progress seems slow. You see, our brains are wired to seek out patterns. When we repeat an action consistently, it becomes a habit. And habits, my friends, are incredibly powerful. They can transform our lives without us even realizing it. So here's your takeaway. Don't underestimate the power of consistency. It might not be glamorous, but it is effective. In the long run, it's the consistent who win, not the erratic. Remember, consistency is key. The 10th and final way to get started is to be patient. Patience isn't simply about waiting around for things to happen. It's about maintaining a calm endurance while you progress on your journey. It's about understanding that worthwhile things take time, and rushing through a process can often lead to inferior results. Imagine you're planting a seed. You wouldn't expect it to sprout overnight, would you? No. You'd water it, give it sunlight, and wait for it to grow at its own pace. That's what patience is about. It's about nurturing your goals and allowing them the time they need to flourish. Patience is also about resilience. It's about sticking to your path even when progress seems slow. It's about understanding that setbacks are only temporary, and that with time and persistence, you will reach your destination. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. So, give yourself the permission to be patient, to grow, and to succeed at your own pace. So there you have it, the 10 ways to get started at anything you do. Let's do a quick recap, shall we? We began with understanding that every journey has a beginning. The first step is crucial, and it involves clarifying your vision. Then we moved on to setting SMART goals, finding your why, and building a support network. Next, we learned about breaking things down into manageable tasks and overcoming fear. We discussed the importance of celebrating small wins and staying consistent with your efforts. Finally, we talked about the art of patience. This journey of getting started at anything is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It requires perseverance, dedication, and a belief in oneself. But remember, every marathon begins with a single step. And that first step is yours to take. Remember, the first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. So go ahead, take that first step today.